All right, welcome to Dr. J's Mushroom Hunt. I may come up with a different name at some point, but wanted to start recording these videos. I've been hunting mushrooms for about 10 years, I think, and getting better and educating myself every year, and it's just truly a magical time of year. It's like Christmas and Easter combined. It's truly magical. I mean, to be in the forest is great. It relieves stress. You feel good. You get to know yourself better. So in later episodes, we'll talk a little more about the philosophy of that and basically learn about mushrooms and the mushrooms that are medicinal and edible, and learning to kind of live off of the land a little bit. So I'm out here on a 70-acre farm in Canby, Oregon, where I work as an ecotherapist and often take clients on walks. And the other day I ran into an oyster patch. I did pick part of it, but thought I would leave the rest. It was a very beautiful specimen. Last year I found 10 to 15 pounds of oysters on one tree, and having that many oysters is a lot, right? So I ended up canning those and pickling the rest, and they were delicious snacks. So hopefully this year we'll have the same abundance of oysters, and I'll show you how to do that. About to come up upon an oyster tree, but I wanted to first show you something that I found. And last year I discovered on a walk with a client a mushroom called the prince. And I like to refer to it as the elusive prince, only because I've spent almost a decade trying to find it. I've never found it. I've heard so many amazing things about it. It's in the agaricus. It's an agaricus species, so the same species as the common button mushroom that you might find in stores, right? But this is Agaricus augustus, also known as the prince. It has a very almondy, sweet flavor, so I got to experience that last year, and it was quite an amazing flavor. But this is where I found it, in this kind of substrate. So possibly associated with these pines and needle duff, dead branches, and the side of a road, right? So often you can find some of these mushrooms on the sides of trails or wood chips, things of that nature. I also found the other one up here. So every time I walk out here, I look. I'm very excited to finally come upon the elusive prince again. So I did find something that looks like a little button, an agaricus in the button stage. I'm not sure. It doesn't have a scent quite yet. But take a look at this. So you can see the cap is similar to what an agaricus might look like. Right, and there's the stem or the stipe right here. I'm not exactly sure because it's too young, but there are a variety of different agaricus species, and some are included in what they call the lose your lunch bunch, and some are delicious, right? There's the horse, there's the meadow, there's the torque, right? So there's a lot of different agaricus species. Some of them are slightly toxic, meaning that they give you some serious gastric upset. Now, oyster mushrooms are often found. They're saprophytic. They chew on, or they decay wood. They're wood decayers. So they're found on logs or dead trees, and that's where I found all the oysters in this particular area, on standing dead trees. So you can see right here where I picked the last one, and there's a beautiful one up there. I just can't get to it. And here's a nice little specimen. It's just slightly past prime, but still good. The one that I picked here yesterday is just in perfect condition. And then along this log over here, we've got some young ones. And we have a little water dog. He's checking out the mushrooms too. Hey, little guy. We also have crawdads. Alright, so let's take a few of these. You can use a knife when they're in larger collections like the one on that tree above. You can cut it at the base. I'll go ahead and leave those because next week they'll be a lot bigger. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut this. So I like to use this Opinel French cutlery knife. It's got a little brush on the end. It's great. You probably need to sharpen it yourself, which I had to do with this one. And so I'll just cut right here at the base. Pretty good specimen there. I couldn't cut and hold the camera at the same time, so. But you just basically cut the back end of it. It looks decent. There are a few buggy wugs on there, but it's not too bad. I'm planning on smoking these. They're very versatile. There's a lot you can do with them. Like I said, I canned them last year, pickled some of them, and I used an actual canner. You can cook them in a variety of different dishes and soups and so on. It has a very earthy, somewhat smoky flavor. Alright, so that's going to conclude this particular session. I just wanted to show you a nice oyster find, and I'm hoping that the tree that I found last year that had those beautiful, beautiful young oyster specimens will be there, and hopefully we'll get the opportunity for me to record a session of canning and pickling. And stay tuned next time when I go looking for white and golden chanterelles, lobsters, and also garden giants or king stropharia. I just harvested some from my garden, so I'm waiting for the next batch to pop up. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy this episode.